Hi guys, Jared here with Day Traders FX. Hopefully you're having a great week. We've got some nice setups to look at here. You can see the U.S. markets are pretty flat for today. They're up a little bit. The Dow's up just a tiny bit. S&P's up nearly 1/4%. So kind of a an average day. Not great, not horrible. Um, but we'll continue to keep our eye on all of that. Gold's made some dips. We'll look at those charts and so on. As far as news goes today, we had a little bit of news, not tons of it. We have a little bit of New Zealand news coming up later on today. Tomorrow is where things get a little bit more exciting as far as news goes. We have quite a bit of U.S. news tomorrow. You can see the building permits, the CPI numbers, unemployment claims, and the Philly Fed manufacturing index. So those are all pretty good, and those are coming up Thursday. So not a ton of news the rest of today on anything. Asian session stuff, Australian, anything like that. We just have the annual budget release of New Zealand. But I'm not even looking at that pair right now, so that's kind of where we are with the whole news announcement side of things. Okay, so we had some pending orders set yesterday, and we were looking for a few things that didn't quite get to where we were looking. So now it's time to adjust and go for some additional entry areas here. The euro dollar is a great example of this. Euro dollar has run down and down and down, and it's finally getting a little bit of support, a little bit of bounce down here around. It hit 128.40, and kind of that 128.40.50 area has produced a pretty good bounce on this pair. What I'm looking for at this point now is you can see that kind of from this high to this low here, we've got a couple of things like the 50% fib here, just from the high to low of the last 2 days. It's been a pretty steady range so far. So our 50% fib's about 129.34. Not to mention this nice little existing resistance here that's about 129.40-ish area. So pretty good stuff going on there. And that is where I'm actually looking to get short in the euro dollar. I'd like to sell this thing just around that area, 129.30.40, with stops above the weekly high. So remember, the weekly high is about 130.25. So we're looking at stops maybe 130.30. So definitely looking for some large stops on this, but I think we've got a good chance of this euro dollar continuing down easily into that 12700, 127.50 area. So again, looking to get short on the euro dollar, large stops right around the 129.30.40 area, and just targeting the big downward movements. So that's what I'm looking at on the euro dollar. Pound dollar, one thing that I've looked at on the pound dollar is the last few days we've had some pretty nice declines here. You can even see, whoops, that's not what I was meaning to do. There we go. You can even see on this little trend line right here, just kind of the pound has kind of followed this area down and is actually finally starting to make some breaks and bottom out just a little bit here at the 15200 area. And we've got a nice reversal candle there. We had a nice bounce. We did get a little short-term double top on this move up, and it seems like it's having a hard time with 152.70, 75.80 area. I'm still looking for probably 153 to 153.30, 15300 to 153.30 to short the pound dollar. So let's say we get 153.30, or excuse me, 15300. We're going to have our stops just above this weekly high around 153.85. And that's what we'll look for. But I'm going to be right in that general area of 153.30 to 153.00, depending on price action, how things go. But that's where I'll be looking to short the pound dollar further and hopefully make our way down through support here. So you can see that's the fib range of this big long movement here. We've bounced up and touched the 23 and we're back down again. So a break above the 23 should get us all the rest of the way up to that 38, which is 153, 30 area. So that's kind of why I'm looking at that. And the trend should easily continue on downward after, possibly a little tiny pullback and then that big push lower. If we look at the high to low range of the Aussie dollar here from the last couple of days, you can see, I don't know why I have that. There we go. You can see in this little move right here, we have a missed weekly pivot that is at the 50% fib. I'm not really shooting for the 50% fib, but I am shooting for the general range here of about the 38, which is right at parity. That's right at the 100 mark, the 1-to-1 mark, I guess, with the Aussie dollar. So I'm looking to get short somewhere in that general vicinity, somewhere probably a little bit below the 100 area, 99.75 to 100 areas where I'm looking to get short with some decent sized stop losses. And I'll kind of look at that and update that as the day goes on. But that's where I'm looking to get short. Still targeting 9,800, 9,750, ultimately 9,700. So some pretty good little moves there in the works. You can see Euro Yen's kind of hopping around, and it's a little bit all over the place. Not super interested in that one. Aussie Yen kind of doing the same thing. The Yen pairs are just choppy and consolidated. Everything else is moving very nicely, so there's not really any major reason to trade the Yen pairs right now. But we do have some very nice setups on the pound dollar, euro dollar, Aussie dollar pairs coming up. So make sure to mark those on your charts. Pause the video in the various parts and make sure that you're able to catch these moves and you're ready and have pending orders set because they are going to be some nice little moves. Best of luck, guys. I'll keep details and updates coming out on Twitter, and I'll post things in the chat as they come up. Thanks, everyone.